Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Shilpa Data Insights. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we will come across one more interview question that is asked in big MNC company. So today's video is being asked in EY, which is one of the big four consulting companies. And the question is a very famous interview question because it's not only asked in big four consulting, but any MNC company that you come across. I have already curated a playlist in which I have answered a lot of interview questions that is being asked nowadays in the big companies, as well as like it is from startup. It's not only from big companies. And once you have solved this question, you will be an expert in PySpark. That I could say, but you need to make sure you go ahead and dedicatedly practice those questions so that you become an expert in PySpark. And I have also shown you different websites from where you can practice PySpark. This will really help you in gaining some insights how to actually approach a question. So without any further delay, let's get started with today's question that is related to EY interview question, and I will answer it in PySpark. You can also try with Spark SQL. So in this question, we have a customer data set. In the customer data set, we have a start location and end location. So each customer is going to end location from a start location. So for example, the customer ID A1 is starting from Tokyo and reaching Manila. And for customer ID 2, it's starting from Paris and reaching Madrid, right? And so on. So we need to find out the start location and the end location for each customer. Though there are multiple transit, but we need to find the start and the end location. So the output that we need here is like this. Singapore is the start, end is Manila. For employee ID 2, it's Berlin and then Madrid, then Istanbul and Doha, Vancouver and Montreal, and so on, right? So you need to find the start and the end location for each customer. So let's go to our Databricks notebook and go ahead and solve this question. So in this particular, I have this Databricks notebook open and I have attached it with my cluster. So let me run some imports first. I will not need this, so you can actually comment it and you can import the functions, that is from PySpark.sql.functions. You are importing everything, and for types you are importing the struct type, struct fill, and string type. Now if you will see, I have my data set ready and I'm creating a data frame out of it with the help of the schema that I have. If you don't know how to create a data frame and how to actually go ahead and create a schema, please watch my video in which I've explained to you how to create schema along with the schema and along with the create data frame method using that. So here I have my data frame ready. So what I need is I need my start and end location. So if you think how you can approach it, I will tell you step by step. What I will do is in the first step, I'll go ahead and put my start location and end location. I'll put it in one column, right? So that I can count how many times the location is coming. If the location for a particular customer is coming twice, it means that that is not my end location. For example, the start location for customer ID 1 is Tokyo and end location is Tokyo again, right? And again for Singapore, it is my start location and my end location is not there. And this is my end location, but the start location is coming. So if the end location is again coming in start location, it means that that is not my end location, right? So let's go ahead and first put it into one column and then I will group it by customer to get the number of counts for a particular location. So let's do it step by step. So in the method 1, the first step will be to basically go ahead and do a start. So first will be my start. I will create two data frames. One is my start data frame, another is my end data frame, so that I can union them both. So I will do df.select, in which I'm doing customer. In the customer, I will have my start location as my column. And I will alias this particular column to location. Similarly, I will do the same thing for my end location. So I'll just rename this data frame to end and I will use my end location and I will put it into the same column here. So once I exit, everything will come as the location column. My start data frame will also have my location column, and my end data frame will also have a location column. So let me go ahead and show the records. So let me go ahead and do df start dot show and df end dot show. So there will be two data frames. It is going to show it to me. So this is my data frame. So both of them are having one column called location here common, and the customer also, right? So the column names are same and there are two columns. So I can do a union operation now. So what I will do is I will do a df start dot union df end. So let me name this data frame as df union. So my start will be df start dot union the df end. So both of them will be union to one particular data frame, right? Why am I doing it? Because I want to get the unique records of each customer using the groupBy and the aggregation function. So let me first show this particular data frame. So this is my complete data frame. It just shows me the top 20 rows, right, using the show operation. So now the next step is to get the unique records of each customer using the groupBy and the aggregation. So I'll do a df unique is equal to df union dot groupBy. I'll group it by two columns. One is my customer and second is my location. Now I will aggregate it by the 1. Okay, so let me go ahead and alias this particular column so that I don't want it in that format. So let me do a df unique. I'll show you what my result will come. Then we'll come up with the actual result that we will need. So here we will see df unique will give us this particular result. So we have the customer ID, the location and count. So Tokyo is coming twice for customer ID 1, and Singapore is coming 1, and Seoul is coming 2. So now if we will see Bangkok is also coming 2 for customer ID 1. So wherever we have 1 for customer ID, that we have to go ahead and filter it out, right? So let me filter out the records which is having the column count equal to 1. Once I do that, these are my column counts which is equal to 1. Let me just drop because I will not need this count anymore. So I'll just drop it up. Now you will see the customer and the location here. So this is number 1. 1 will be my start date, 1 will be my end. So for customer ID 1, if you will see Singapore is there. For customer ID 1, again Manila is there. Now both the locations are there, but we are not aware which one is my start date and which one is my end location. Start location and end location. So the next step will be to figure out the start location and the end location. So for that, what we can do is we can join this unique data frame that we created, and we can join it with my original data frame to get the start and end location for each customer, right? And then with the help of when otherwise condition, we can go ahead and filter out and get my actual start and end location. Let's first do a join operation of df union unique and the original df first. So my df answer will be my df unique, and then I have to join it with my df, which is my original df, on what? I will join it with my df customer, because customer is my column on which I want to join, and then on unique also we have that column, not union, that is unique on customer. Once I have this, I am joining on this. I have to join on customer as well as location, right? So what I have to do is I have to put an AND condition here. In the AND condition, I'll write the df dot start location, because that has a start location, right, should be equal to my df unique dot location, right? If this is the case, that is my start, or this should be equal to end. So let me also copy this and paste it here. That is my end location. Okay, so this is my end location. Now let me do one thing. I'll just put all the on condition inside one bracket, right? So this is my on condition. Now let me go ahead and run this query, df answer dot show. So if you will see, now I have my customer, I have my location from my unique data frame as well as from the original data frame, and this is from the original data frame, that is the start location. If start location is equal to location, right, it is joining, and even if the end location is equal to location is joining. So for example, for customer ID 1, this Singapore is matching here, so it's joining, and also it is matching, this end location Manila is matching with my unique location, so it's matching. So this we get. Now we need to find out which is my start location and end location. It's very easy to do it using when otherwise condition. We can go ahead and achieve this. So let me just write down the code and I'll explain you how exactly to achieve this. So I'll just replace this df answer with the same, and I'll introduce another column here, which will be my customer start location. So in that customer start location, I have to mention when the column, let me put this column, yeah, when the column location is equal to the column start location. So when the column location is equal to the start location, then what? Then I have to pick up the start location, right? So let me put the complete name. It should not be LOC, it should be location. So when it's equal to start location, then I have to pick the whole column. Now when another condition I have to put to get my end location, right? So when the column location is equal to end location, then I have to pick the end location. That should be my criteria, right? So let me do a df answer dot show, and then we will just pick up the columns that we actually need. So with column has more arguments, it seems. When, let me just go ahead and check 1 second. So there was a small mistake in the same column. I was mentioning both, right? So I used again the with column to get my customer and location. So now you see I have two columns extra, that is the start location and the end location, right? So this is my customer start and end. So wherever this condition is met, it actually goes ahead and fetches the start location, and when this condition is met, it fetches the end location. That's what it is written here, right? Now if you will see, these are not the end location, whatever is null, and these null, whatever is there in the start location is not the start location wherever there is a null value, right? So we need to actually remove them up and get just my start and end location. Before that, there's a lot of columns here. Let me go ahead and select the columns that I just need, right? So I can do one thing. I can do a dot select, and I will be selecting my customer first. So let me select the customer from the df unique customer, and I will select my customer start location and the customer end location. Okay, so I will be just selecting the ones that I actually need. Now, once I have the required columns, then I will fetch the ones which are not null. Okay, so I will calculate I will group by the customer and do an aggregation and get the min and max value to get it. So let me do a df dot final from this previous data frame. I'll do a group by the customer and I will do an aggregation. In the aggregation, I will calculate the minimum of my column customer start location, right? And this will have my minimum value. Now I can do the same for my other column. That is my end location. So what I will do is I'll do an alias for this because I don't want this column name. And I will alias the same, that is, this is my aggregation bracket, this is my column bracket. So I'll just alias it here. End location. Okay, so this is my df final data frame. So let me go ahead and show this data frame and it will give us the first 20 results. So here we have the customer ID 1, which has the start location Singapore and end location Manila. For customer ID 2, it has start location Berlin and then end location is Madrid. For customer ID 3, the start location is Istanbul and the end location is Doha, and so on. So now you understand how to actually approach this question in the first method, in which we are actually combining all the location into one data frame, and then we are counting how many times it is coming, and whichever is coming only one time means either it is a start or end location, right? And then we have to figure out which one is the start location and which one is the end location by actually combining the original data frame and the new data frame that we got, and then we will be removing the null values and getting only the start and end location. That is one way. There are multiple steps involved. We can actually go ahead and reduce the number of steps and make it more efficient. So let's see how we can do that. So for that, first of all, find the start points and the end points which are not in the end location for the same customer, right? So for that, I will go ahead and create a data frame which is the start points. In the start point, I will use the original data frame which I have. So I'll just use the customer column and my start location. So these two columns only I need, and I want to subtract it from the other data frame in which I will have my end location. So what I mean is I'll do a subtract. In the subtract, I will do a df dot select. I'll just use my customer and I will use the end location. And what I will do is I will alias this particular column, that is my end location, to start location. Otherwise, I will not be able to subtract it. That's why I have to do it. So I'll do a column of this to the end location. So dot alias start location, right? So now both the columns are same, and I hope my brackets are intact, right? So this is my start point. Okay, so let me just run this particular command first to show you what is the result. So you see the start location is there for every customer ID, the start location we got. These are actually not in the end location for that particular customer, right? Therefore, that's what it means. So let me actually go ahead and rename this to a specific name so that we can reuse this in the next step. So what I will do is I'll do a with column renamed the start location. The start location, I can rename this to, let's say, journey start, and this bracket should not be here, it should be here only. Okay, so let me run this particular thing and make sure it's syntactically free. The second thing is the same thing, I have to do it for the end point, right? So let me go ahead and paste the same thing. I will just rename this, that is my endpoint. In the endpoint, I have to find what is my end location, and here what is my start location I have to subtract, and I will just go ahead and name this end location because we are actually finding the end location. And let me rename this end location to the journey end. Okay, so this is my end points dot show. So let me show both the data frames that I created. Okay, it is endpoints dot show. So if you will see, it will give us both the result, that is the journey start and journey end. So the next step will be very simple. What will be the next step? We just have to actually combine them with the help of the customer ID as the key column to get the required result, right? So this is what my result df3. I will create another data frame. So I'll just use starts point and then I'll join it with my end point. And how I will be joining? I will be joining it with the help of my customer. So let me just do a df3.show and show you the result. I can go ahead and see my result data set is ready. So this is my journey start and my journey end. If you want, you can go a step further and you can check whether it is actually correct or not. So I just written this small piece of code where you can actually visualize how exactly the journey was planned, what was the start location, what was the end location for it. So for example, A11 route here, I have just iterated it through the loop of each customer, and then I filtered out for that particular customer, and I got my customer routes, and I will iterate it through each customer route and get my start location and end location. That's what I'm doing. So this is my first customer ID. For this particular first customer ID, I'm actually having this route, and then from this and this and this. So my start is this and the end is this. So this is how you can go ahead and approach it again in the second way, which is in a lesser code format, in a better optimized way as well. So you are actually subtracting the data in the beginning itself and getting just the start location which are not present in the end location. And similarly, you are calculating the end location which are actually not present in the start location. So you got your start location and the end location in two different data frames, which you are then joining in order to get one data frame, and in that data frame you have both your customer ID, start location and end location. So these two ways are there. There is nothing wrong in using both of them. You can approach it in any way. If there's any other way that you think that you can also approach, please put down in the comment section so that everyone can get benefit and understand how you are approaching the question in a different way. And if you want to write this code in SQL, please feel free to write it in SQL so that you are aware how to use your SQL language to approach this question as well. So I hope you have liked this video, and if you have liked this video, do hit the like button. And if you are coming to my channel for the first time, do subscribe it. And if you have forgotten to subscribe it before, do subscribe my channel as well and share it with your friends as well. And I will come up with more such videos related to interview series. So stay tuned and practice well, and all the best for the interviews. Thank you so much for watching, and I wish you have a good day.